Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen went 51 games unbeaten. And if you looked at the graphics on TV, it was always the same 3-4-2-1 shape that he lined up with. But the modern game is more about one static formation. The top tier coaches have different shapes that they want to see their players use when they're in possession, out of possession, in transition. In this video, we're going through 3 lineup variations Xabi Alonso could use in his first season, depending on opposition, the profiles at his disposal, and we're going to end with which one I think he will utilise in our first Premier League game away at Craven Cottage against Fulham. So starting off with Xabi Alonso's actual identity, he's not just a back 3 manager as the likes of Antonio Conte or Oli Glasner perhaps nowadays are pretty much seen as. He's been under some of the best coaches in football: Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, when he was a player, and we know how good of a player he was. He likes positional play, juego de posición, where spaces are utilised to get closer to the goal, get better value possession, and win games. He likes to lure the press, create a gap, have a quick vertical pass into that gap, and that's repeatable depending on formation. That doesn't change. That, like, the same principles apply, and he wants his players to understand exactly what he envisions football as. The 315 goals in 140 games weren't about personnel. He very often switched different personnel up top. Patrick Schick and Boniface, they both played strikers and both scored a lot of goals. They had lots of different attacking midfield options: Wirtz, Adli, Nathan Teller, Hoffman. They all got good numbers, and we know Chelsea have recruited accordingly. Morgan Rogers, Maxence Lacroix is close as I speak, Marco Palestra already done. They're not random signings, they're profile specific fits, as we know, and pre-season will tell us a lot. I do have to emphasize these are predictions, and educated predictions at that, but Alonso is the only person, apart from his backroom staff and hopefully some of the players by now, who know what he envisions at Chelsea, and as fans we have to wait until pre-season and the start of the league season. But system 1 in this video is the one that made him the most sought after football manager in the world at Leverkusen, a 3-4-2-1. In possession, it's more of a 3-2-5, a 3-box-3 you could say. This is Alonso's most natural shape and what he saw most success as in his short managerial career so far. I think this is best deployed against like a low block Premier League side. The space and the half space that they'll stay very narrow, and you can go wide, you can get the ball to the wings, but they'll just stay really tight and compact. Think about your Brentfords, your Fulhams, even your Aston Villas. They stay very tight at the back and look to hurt you on the break. So the spine of it starts at the back. I'd go Rob Sanchez in goal, Levi Colwill as the central centre-back, Lacroix, hopefully, as the right centre-back, and Jarell Hato as the left centre-back, the 3 profile-specific centre-backs. We know how good Levi Colwill is on his day, and assuming he stays fit for next season, he will have a huge part to play in all of these lineup variations that we're going through today. But Lacroix is the interesting one here. He's close to signing as I record. He's right-footed, comfortable with the ball, but his physical attributes are absolutely monstrous for recoveries, which ticks every Alonso centre-back box. And then Hato on the left, he was a real find last season. We signed him for about 30-40 million pounds. He's been on the scene as a youngster for a long time. He was captaining Ajax as a teenager, but he was really impressing in some dark days as Chelsea fans towards the end of the season. He's comfortable in a back 3, back 4, but the wing backs is where the system lives or dies. At Leverkusen, it was Frimpong, who was almost just a right winger with a little bit of defensive responsibility, and then Grimaldo, who was going up and down, but more often than not up. And we could see signings, but at the moment I'm going with Giovanni Quenda as the left wing back and Palestra as the right wing back. They will hold maximum touchline width. They're the primary ball progressors. You try and create an overload on one side while the other is absolutely got chalk on his boots, similar to what we saw with Victor Moses, Marcos Alonso in our 2017-18 campaign. And then they're both great at dribbling, both rapid, both physical. Yeah, Quenda has that Frimpong energy already. His pace, his directness, willing to track back as well. I think Alonso will love developing him, although he does have the potential to play in multiple other positions in this team. Going on to the pivot, I've got Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. It has to stay compact. We've seen double pivots at Chelsea for quite a while. Their job is to invite the press and then use their incredible ball ability to break the lines, play around the corner, just beat the first and second lines of the opposition press. And with Enzo, it's up in the air at the moment. He does get criticism, but a lot of praise as well. Out of possession, I don't love him. He is easily ran past. He's good at pressing, but he's not good enough at being a box-to-box midfielder in an important game. I just don't think he gives you enough bite in the midfield. He will bite, he will try and bite. He's got the mentality to, but he doesn't have the ability to make a tackle or an interception or a block like Moises Caicedo does. But in the system where you're dominating a mid-table side, you've got possession, you're going left to right, he is one of the best chance creators in the squad. He's very creative, and I think it would be okay. That's manageable. And above them, that box midfield is completed. The box midfield is a really structurally tight. You basically have 4 midfielders, which is the maximum amount of midfielders you can have in a lineup, really. So you really dominate centrally, but then we got the wing backs that hug the touchlines. So it's Caicedo, Enzo, and then in front of them I've gone Rodgers and Palmer. Defending Palmer and Rodgers in the half spaces will be like impossible for opposition next season. They're so hard to defend. They're so intelligent in the brain when it comes to football. They know when to peel off, receive the ball. How they turn is always incredible. And then you could stay really tight to one to like shut them out of the game. But when you got 2 of those types of players, it's impossible. Palmer has to play more centrally. He is not a right winger, I am sorry. His central touch percentage increased roughly about 25% versus playing on the right wing. He just gets the ball more and it's straightforward. When he gets the ball, he's more involved, he creates more. We know he's more of a confidence player. If he's been starved of the ball the whole game, I'm sorry, but his mentality is just going to go. He has got moments of brilliance, but under Pochettino, when he was one of the best players in the world, he was always involved in the football, and he wasn't worried about making an error because he knew he was going to get the ball again very soon. And then Morgan Rogers driving at the defence is perfect, to be honest, next to Palmer. And then the striker in the shape, I've gone with João Pedro. That front three, that narrow front three, on paper, one of the best in the Premier League, can I say that? He's not quite a target man, JP, in this position, but he's an intelligent mover. He can drop deep. Rodgers could run beyond him. Just exploit space, create space for the other great players. Hold the line, he can link play and finish chances as well. Someone I missed out here, Reece James. He does deserve to be on the pitch, that's not the question. The question is, which system can accommodate him the best? And honestly, it's complicated. With this lineup, I don't know where the best place to put him is. We know he's an incredible right wing back, but I don't think his hamstrings can handle that intensity anymore. Hopefully he proves me wrong, but I just don't see him bombing up and down the right wing like he was in 2021 or whatever. At right centre back, he could be great building from the back, but I don't know if his recovery pace, again, I don't trust his hamstrings. Lacroix' recovery pace is probably the best in the Premier League. Reece's just isn't. Then the midfield option exists, which we will get onto later. While Enzo is more creative in this slot and against the low block, I'd rather have Enzo. But Reece is our captain. He will play, that's not a question. Sometimes you just have to find a way and drop someone performing well to get Reece James in the team, which I will be completely supporting. But for this variation, in my head, there's not an obvious place to put him. But can't forget about injuries. He could get an injury, force him out the team. Other players could get injuries, which are inevitable. And load management. So don't get it wrong, Reece James will play for Chelsea next season, and he's in this next lineup variation. System 2 is where things get interesting. I've gone for more of a 4-2-3-1 shape, which is apparently the shape Alonso utilised in our first friendly, behind the closed doors friendly, against Crawley Town, in which we won 3-1. The key difference from the first lineup is the width is wider and the football goes more to the wings. In the 3-4-2-1, the width comes from the wing backs and attacks live centrally. We have that box midfield, the quality from Palmer and Rodgers. But in this one, the wide attackers stay wide and attack 1v1. You can build 4v3 overloads on each side. And this system is more for transitional high-octane games. We have pace on the flanks as our primary weapon. The likes of Gittins, Neto, Estevao, Quenda, on their day, they're incredible wingers. If you unleash them in the space, you have them running in behind, they're undefendable. So the back four is Gusto at right back this time, and then for the option, Wesley Fofana if he's staying, and then Colwell as the centre backs, and then Hato again at left back. But in build up, Hato will drop a bit more. He will be a lot more conservative, while Gusto will be going flying. Palestra could do this role, but like I said, I want to see different variations. There's an asymmetry that Alonso will love here. Hato's passing makes it viable. He's got over 88% pass accuracy in build-up phase. I think he's best in a sort of hybrid centre-back left-back. And then for the pivot in the 4-2, I've gone with Caicedo and Reece James. Reece James as the defensive midfield partner rather than the fullback. It protects him physically, it gets him on the pitch, which is key. And then his passing range and reading of interceptions are elite at that level as well. We did see him in midfield quite a lot towards the end of last season, and I think Callum McFarlane specifically must like Reece in that midfield position, and he is one of our assistant coaches for next season. Caicedo next to him would cover the ground, and then Reece would just read the game complementary really well. And then you don't have to worry about gaps appearing. Then up top, it's more of a traditional front three, and number 10, I've gone with Estevao on the right wing, Palmer in the 10, although that could be Morgan Rogers as well, and then Jamie Gittins on the left. But again, we have lots of options. Gittins and Estevao are both in the top 5 percentile for successful take-ons per 90. If they get 1v1 in space in this system, defenders are in serious trouble. Pedro Neto also fits this role, but he's just too frustrating to watch in my opinion. Rogers could play on the left or the centre, Quenda as well, but we're having fun seeing different options here. Palmer as a 3-10 gets the best version of him. He's unconstrained, roaming around, gets the ball in the pockets, just there to create and link play. And then I'm going to go for Emmanuel Omega as the striker. He's physical, direct and mobile. He's a slightly different profile to João Pedro. He offers something a bit more aggressive in transitional games and would work in this system specifically. At Strasbourg, they played a lot more transitional, and I think he will potentially have a bigger role than people are giving him credit for. They think he could just go out on loan again, but I'd rather Omega than Jackson as our backup striker next season. He's still quite raw, but still young, and he's great in the air, and he will run all day. And then back to the goalie starting it off, I'm going with Mike Penders, who gets the nod. He may rotate depending on the competition, but in a more transitional style, Penders fits the sweeper keeper role a bit better than Sanchez. He's used to being quite far off his line, which is important if you've got a high line, but he's also a great shot stopper too. So system 3, and we'll be saving this one for big nights. It's a 4-3-3, just prioritising structure, designed to constrain top level position, the Man City's, Arsenal's, Liverpool's, Champions League away legs if we qualify for the 27-28 season. It's about keeping the midfield tight, having the defence on lock, and getting one of our attacking front three to create and score. So in goal, I'd go with Sanchez. You know what you're getting with him. He does have a mistake in him, but you know what you're getting, and he's a decent Premier League level goalkeeper. A back four of Reece James at right back, Hato at left back, Lacroix and Colwill as the 2 centre backs. Those options just know exactly what their roles are. You're a defender, you defend. If we're playing against a Man City who have Doku and Semenyo on either wing, on either flank, we want some solid fullbacks to defend against those. And then you have 2 centre backs marking your big Erling Haaland in the centre. You're allowed to go forwards as the fullbacks if the opportunity arises, but just stick to your position and win the ball back. Give it to the midfielders, who a midfield 3, who I've gone for Lavia as more of the defensive midfielder, Caicedo as a 8/6, and then here's where it gets interesting, Palmer as the right centre midfield. I'd play Palmer a little bit deeper and in midfield. Alonso did this exactly with Arda Güler at Real Madrid. A brilliant player who doesn't quite fit the wide role. You just drop him into the 8 position, you get him on the ball, more touches, more influence and more damage. Palmer does have the physicality to win duels in that midfield, but his technical ability of being able to keep the ball and recycle with the likes of Lavia and Caicedo would just work, I think. Caicedo, Palmer, Lavia triangle would retain the ball in tight spaces, under high pressure, and in a big game, if you get the ball, you don't want to lose it, especially not in midfield. And then the front 3 looks familiar, what you would imagine. There's options, but I've gone for Estevao on the right, João Pedro up top, and then Morgan Rogers as the left winger. With flexibility though, you could have Quenda, Neto, Omega, Gittins, there's options. The same principles apply of like press baiting and controlling the midfield. I think just having more of a compact defence and midfield, then letting the attack do what it does best. That's what you see in a Champions League semi-final, but potentially in an FA Cup semi or FA Cup final next season, we could see it there. Now, I want to be honest, these are predictions. Like I said, pre-season will determine a lot, and I will be making a video of Alonso's tactics broken down after the first couple of games of pre-season. I didn't do one when he got appointed because there's still quite a lot of guesswork involved. He may surprise us entirely, he's done that before. Leverkusen didn't look like their finished article on day one, and there could even be more signings that have been confirmed since this video was recorded. But Xabi Alonso was the best addition we could have made to our club this summer. I just trust him. Like with Rosinia, I wasn't fully trusting that they'll make the right decisions, and obviously with Rosinia, there was a lot of wrong decisions. But Alonso, I just trust that he'll see stuff in training, he'll be analysing the players at his disposal, and he will do his best to implement what he envisions football should be played as. So which sort of system would Alonso reach for first? We've got Fulham away at Craven Cottage in the Premier League on the Monday of the weekend of the first game week. My best guess would be the 3-4-2-1. It's his home. I think it's the easiest to grasp. And then if you play Palmer and Rodgers in the dual 10s, you're probably going to be alright anyway. Fulham will probably sit a bit deeper, but they have now got Alonso's Real Madrid managerial replacement in Arbeloa, so we'll have to see what sort of style of play he plays. But Fulham have been historically and traditionally a bit more apprehensive in their approach. The depth in this squad is genuinely ridiculous, and Alonso could come up with hundreds of variations. He's not a tactical idealist who forces his system on his players, sticks to his guns at all times. He's a problem solver who will have multiple systems and options and the intelligence to switch between them. And he'll want to transfer the intelligence to his players. And the process is happening right now. If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll enjoy this one too. Thank you for watching. Click here and I'll see you there. Goodbye.